is we are actually going to go out and pre-record everything. So we're going to make a video, walk through the house, do like a really like scripted, just a tour. So that way we're not focused on, you know, the feedback that's coming in, and we can just do one thing at a time. Once we do the video, we are going to be scheduling a watch party on Facebook. And then that way the agent can actually go in and interact with people and be able to kind of like walk them through, you know, kind of go back through the video and walk them through that. The other advantage to doing it that way is that we don't have to keep going back to the house, which is safer for us. It's safer for the clients. It also saves a heck of a lot of time, because we had one agent that had to drive 30 minutes to do a 20-minute open house over the weekend. And so that just isn't a good use of time. So that's kind of how we're going to set that up going forward, at least on our team. So I'm going to send out a video to everybody showing you how to do that as well.
Hey,
So
Troy, would you mind muting everyone, and then they can unmute themselves if they have questions? I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Will do. I was working on it, but yeah, I'll just mute everyone. So Ashley and Lauren, you'll need to unmute yourself. And if you guys want to talk, unmute yourself.
So if you already have a walkthrough video, can you just kind of edit it so you're...
Hey, Diane, you want to unmute yourself real quick?
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Thought I did. If you already have a walkthrough video and you can like do a voiceover on it, is that something, or would you actually really go back to the house right now? And
That'd be fine. I think that would be absolutely fine. I mean, people really just want to see the house. I think having the agent either doing a voiceover or actually doing the tour is nice, just because it gives more of that personal touch to it, and it makes them feel more like they're actually on a showing. The biggest feedback that we had from our agents over the weekend was just like Ash said, it was just hard to interact and walk through at the same time. And we had agents that would have to put the phone on the floor to like put their arms out like this and show how big a hallway was to, you know, try to like add some character to it. So it got a little complicated. So I think that to answer your question, I think that would be completely fine. Just make sure that you're in there and actually like commenting and talking to them when you do the watch party.
right, okay.
Yeah. So a couple of things, if you do decide to do a Facebook Live, a few things that we took away. It was my first time really using Facebook Live. I did not realize that you could not pull up information on your phone while you were doing a Facebook Live. It will pause your video. So make sure you have lots of notes about things that you want to talk about. Make sure you don't forget to tell people how much the house costs.
Yes.
There were a lot of things that we just forgot to say. And one really big takeaway I had is throughout my video, people were jumping on, getting off. And so I think it's important to repeat yourself. So if you're doing a Facebook Live to say, hey, I'm at 123 Main Street, it's this much, it has this many bedrooms and bathrooms, you may want to say that periodically throughout your video, reintroduce yourself, reintroduce the house as you're walking through it. I think, you know, that was a big takeaway for me.
Yep. And then also if you're doing the lives, another takeaway that we had was to actually have another person there with you recording you, because it's a little bit easier to like put your realtor hat on and walk through the house, as opposed to doing all of it at the same time. So that was something that we had some feedback on. That was a really good idea going forward. And then just to make sure too, Lauren, did you guys go outside?
Yeah, we did. So the community that I did mine at has a pool in the clubhouse, and I really wanted to show all of that off, but I was not allowed. They had it locked down because of the virus. So next time, if I can do if we continue to do these once this is behind us, definitely want to show off any community features like that. But we did kind of walk around the neighborhood, showed, other neighbors' homes and the streets and parking, because I was in a condo community. There was a lot of visitor parking, so I made sure to show that. Sarah, when she did hers, there's an elementary school really close by that has a great playground, so she showed that. She showed the backyard. So yeah, we definitely spent some time outside.
That's great. I think when you do these, you have to really like make a list of everything that you could possibly show, because you could go through there super fast and be done in like 5 minutes.
Yep.
So I think the more that you're able to show for it, the better. What about marketing? So Lauren, you said that you did a little bit, like you were asking your friends and stuff to jump on. Did you do any ads or anything like that?
Nope. This was our first time doing it, and we really didn't have a lot of time to prepare. So for us, it was just word of mouth. And, you know, I mean, the attendance was okay. It wasn't spectacular. But next time, yes, I would love to run ads, maybe send out an email to our database. Hey, join us on Facebook Live today at 2, or, you know, whatever it might be, to really get more viewers.
So we pushed it on social media. We decided pretty early that we were going to do it. And so we were able to run an ad on one of them. The other ones kind of came up at the last minute, but the one that we ran the ad on actually had the most non-friend people on there. So we did have interaction from people who were actually interested in the house. And then our agents were able to go through and DM them back through Facebook and kind of start a conversation with them. So I definitely do think that running the ads is going to be super helpful. Especially now, like we were just talking on a call before this, that internet viewership's up like 35%, and that's major. So if you're able to have ads running in stories and running on the actual Facebook posts that you're having, that like people are going to be interested in checking it out. When you are running your ads, I would put in as many pictures as Command will let you put in, because that's going to draw people into wanting to go to the virtual open house, and just put as much information in as you can to explain what you're doing. Because I think one of ours was kind of vague, and I don't think people really understood. They just thought it was a video. So I think just as much description as you can have and as many specifics as you can have in your advertisements, I think is going to be really helpful.
I have a question.
Yep.
Okay, so is there a difference between doing a watch party and then doing a Facebook Live? Like, did either one of you stay on the line for a long period of time so you can answer questions?
So you can do that definitely if you have the viewership. We had one agent that stayed on, and then everybody pretty much dropped off, so she just closed shop. What did you guys do, Lauren?
Same. We didn't have enough viewers to stay on. But if you do a watch party, you're basically showing a video that you already recorded, and you can answer questions. So I really like that idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a little awkward to stay on after a Facebook Live.
Yeah, I think that's what we had decided. Like Ashley said, we were just on a call, our team meeting before this, and that's kind of what, from the feedback, you guys are gonna try this week, right, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm actually going to put a video tutorial together today for that, if anybody wants to try that method. And then if anybody does Facebook Lives this weekend too, I would love feedback as to how it went, because it's all an experiment for all of us to see what's going to work best.
But yeah, Angie, so it would be doing the video. And so that way too, it allows you to make sure that if something goes wrong or whatever, that you don't have a bunch of people waiting, because that happened on one of ours the first time. For whatever reason, it wasn't connecting through the Facebook page. And so there were like a bunch of people waiting saying like, what's going on? And so we have no idea how many people just like left the event because that wasn't working. And then the other weird thing was, and I don't know, Ashley or Lauren, if you guys know how to fix this, but the way that they did it was to go through the event. And when you go onto the event, it defaults to the about page of the event. And if you're streaming a Facebook Live to that event, it's actually in the discussion tab. So the person had to like make an extra click. And so I don't know how many people came to the event and just to the about page, which is the default front page, and never clicked, never asked. And then also though, never clicked on discussion. And so it's definitely a little bit of trial and error from what I've heard.
So my idea for this weekend, so I have a new listing going on, is I'm planning on doing a pre-recorded video at the house. And then once it goes live in MLS, my plan is to do the reverse prospecting to see any agent that has a search save that would hit that. And then I was going to directly invite that agent to watch the Facebook, like the watch party. So, and just thinking, or to pass it along to their buyers in hopes that it's actually getting to the people who need to see that house.
I think that's great.
So, and then if but my question is, should I send it to them? Should I send it to the agents early so then they can have time to ask questions? Or make it just be like, I'm trying to figure out if it's better to do it as a virtual open house or do it just as a way for the clients to see the house without going in it.
I would do both. I think the more exposure you get right now, the better. And that direct contact with the agents is obviously going to be super helpful, especially in your market. I don't know that a lot of people, I don't know. I think that the more the better in this case.
I agree.
I think though, Ashley, don't you think, and this is, sorry guys for like the complete lack of put together, or it's just not put together because we don't really have anything, but I'm just thinking through it as she's asking that. Don't you think that it would be better if you didn't give away the video up front? So that, because like on Facebook Live or a watch party, Facebook is the algorithm is gonna like put you in front of more people at that moment if you have a bunch of interaction and a bunch of people logged into the watch party. So
I think it depends though on, what it really depends on is the price. If you have a $250,000 house that a ton of people online are already going to be looking at, then yeah, the watch party is totally the way to go. My listing, I've got a $500,000 listing right now that I'm just hitting up agents because that's the only way that I'm going to get exposure. And I actually
my question though is, if all of those people if you don't give anybody the video at first and the first chance to see it is going to be at that time, so they're all interacting with Facebook, because I can promise you if you send a video to the agents, they're never getting on your Facebook Live.
Right.
Right.
So wouldn't it be better to have the interaction with the comments and have the viewers on the watch party, so that while you're doing the watch party, it's getting pushed in front of like even more of your own friends?
Yeah,
No.
it could be. It could be. What do you think, Lauren?
I would do both. I really would do both. So I love doing video marketing on my listings, but a Facebook Live isn't really about that, in my opinion. It's more about connecting with your Facebook friends, with the people that are, you're connected to on Facebook, and getting interactions with them. So if it were me, I'd be doing both. I really would. And one thing on our Facebook Live that we did that I would never do on a normal walkthrough video, we talked a lot about how we as a team are adapting to the current market, what we're doing to keep our sellers safe, what we're doing to accommodate our buyers. We talked about sanitation measures, how we carry with us hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes. We're wiping down the lockbox, the key, the door handles. We're asking our clients to leave their kids at home, to keep their hands in their pockets as we walk through the house. That's not stuff you would put on a normal listing video, but you can definitely talk about on a Facebook Live. And consumers really appreciate that right now. People are nervous. They don't know what to expect. As more and more economy is shutting down, they love to see how we are adapting as an industry to perform our business in a safe way. So I think that was a huge success for us that, again, I would never have in a normal listing video.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question. So if you're doing a live, are people like asking you, are you like running around the house? Like, maybe I just don't understand. Like, I guess, are people asking you like, hey, can you actually go back in the master? And then what if somebody else is like, can you show the kitchen? Like, are you running up and down the stairs?
Yes and no. So I start at the front of the house and just do a very slow walkthrough, talk about all the features of the home. And people might ask, hey, what are the condo fees? What does that include? How many square feet is this house? What's the square footage? I walked through my listing twice because it doesn't take very long to walk through a 2,000 square foot house. You can get through the whole thing, like Ashley said, in 5 minutes if you're not careful. Sure. So I tried to be really slow and purposeful, but when I watched it afterwards, I realized how fast I was talking, how fast I was moving. I was moving my phone too quickly, showing people things. So I think really just slow down, show them the property in a very methodical, purposeful way. And I would walk through the house at least twice. But you might have someone say, hey, can you go back and show me that pantry? You know, that's great. I would hope they would be doing that.
And then my second question, are you guys sticking to like Sunday, like typical open house hour times to do these? Because, you know, just with like background and Facebook interactions and stuff, would it be like, I would almost think like on a random night throughout the week, when even a little bit later in the night when people are on Facebook, browsing Facebook and stuff, to do it then, would you get more audience?
Yeah, I mean, people are on Facebook all day, every day right now. I'm surprised Facebook hasn't crashed. With so many people home, I mean, Ashley, do you know when the peak times are right now? I think all the normal logic's out the window.
They're actually about the same because the people that are working the normal daytime hours. I do agree that the evening ones, especially if you do it pre-recorded, you can just have those running. Like you could do it every evening if you wanted to. I do think that, I think that the normal open house times, it might be something that we need to keep some more metrics on, because the weekends may not be as successful on Facebook as a normal open house would be, because typically peak times, you know, the weekend times are lower anyway on social media. So that's a really good question and something we're going to have to track throughout the next couple of weeks. But like Lauren said, everybody's online right now. So I think honestly, you know, with putting anything out there at this point is going to be better than not.
There's no bad time. I mean, there might be better times, but there's no bad time to do it right now.
Stephanie asked, how do you track the metrics? Stephanie, what do you mean? Like peak times, or like how do we track how many people we have on?
Yeah, how do you track like who's on Facebook when?
So overall, Facebook has analytics that you can pull from the Facebook site that will tell you like top times to post things. Okay. In the normal world, the top times to post things are in the evening, first thing in the morning, around lunch, just when people aren't normally working. And right now it's a little crazy. Metrics for the actually keeping track of who's on your Facebook page at that time, like during the event, we had somebody like at a home base that was typing and commenting and things like that to people. So we just kind of wrote it down as we had new leads come through. What'd you guys do, Lauren?
Yeah, my admin was on mine. And so if there was a question I didn't have the answer to right away, I would say, hey, Jess, do you know this? Can you look this up? And she was there, you know, typing. So I think having a few planted people is really smart. People that are maybe on your team, friends, that are there to kind of ask questions and warm it up for you and to kind of get some questions flowing. Nobody likes to be the first, even when they're behind the safety of their keyboard. So yeah, I think having that is good.
I think also just giving that permission. People need permission. And this is like a studied fact with social media, like give them permission to post on the page. Like, hey guys, post what your favorite thing is about this kitchen, or post questions that you have about this backyard or whatever. And then they'll kind of start interacting more.
Yeah. Also, having, you know, when you're watching a Facebook Live, it shows you how many other people are watching. So having other people from your team or friends or your family who are all like, tell them to quit surfing the internet for 5 minutes and jump on, so that it looks like there's 5 to 10 people on no matter what, versus if a consumer's on there and they're the only ones, like Ashley said, even though it's silly that they would feel awkward, people will jump off.
Yeah, it's weird to be the only one watching.
I have a question. This is like remedial Facebook user 101 question. So I know we talked about pre-recording a video. Can you do a pre-recorded video on Facebook Live or no?
Not on live that I know, not on live, but you can do a pre-recorded video and just put it on Facebook.
Yeah, you would do your watch party, which would then trigger that you're having a watch party, and it would bring everybody else in.
So you still want to invite your people to the watch party?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do the video that you do live, though, you're able to reuse that. It doesn't go away. on the other end. So like
And then
Lauren, did you push your video out after you guys did it, or did you guys just leave it in
Yeah,
there?
you can totally reuse those videos. And if you forgot to say something, you can type some notes when you go to repost it.
Lauren, what did you do to advertise in the MLS? This was another question that came up.
We didn't. We did nothing.
So we got in trouble. We got in trouble. Don't post it in the description. Don't post the link. You'll get in big trouble. You can post in the description that you are having a virtual open house. You can post the link in the agent-to-agent remarks. And then if you do click on open house in the MLS and add it to the open house list, you have to add in the notes that it's virtual if you want to do that.
Okay.
Don't put it in.
Ashley, can you send something out as an email with that? Because I wouldn't even know how to post a virtual open house under open houses. So that would be really helpful.
Absolutely.
One suggestion somebody made the other day was when you do this through the MLS, like put your generic comments and then go into the KWLS and you can post the link through there, which will then push it out to all the sites that
Correct.
you're using, right?
Yep, that is correct. I forgot about that. So thank you for bringing that up.
So you could do a video open house pre-recorded and load it into your videos on the MLS, right? You just can't
so we were talking about that earlier too. You can do that. The problem is that you don't know who's looking at it. So you can't really follow up with it's not like a regular open house where you would have like a list of people that came in. So if you want to keep those metrics, I would not do that. But it's hard though, because you want to put out as much information as you can. Maybe if you did a smaller video and said like, check out the full thing at a watch party or Facebook live party.
I feel like the best practice just on the front end would be to make a huge deal about the initial open house, that you're having a watch party, all this stuff, do as much advertising or calls and everything around that at first. And then after that, like once it's out there on your Facebook page, then maybe you post it to the ML, but I think if you want to get maximum return in terms of having that interaction with interested people, you have to create some buzz and some you're not going to be able to see it until this time. Because otherwise, if you put it everywhere, there's going to be no excitement around the watch party. And it's going to make your ability to interact limited. Now, if you don't care about that, then I would just post it everywhere. But I think it's kind of like the idea where people list a property and they don't allow showings until the open house, in order to get the maximum number of people interested. But I just think there's a lot of value right now in being able to interact with people. And you do lose a lot by not being face to face, compared to a normal open house.
You do. It's just a totally new experience, honestly. I'm going to start running an ad today for the ones that we're doing this weekend and try to do it, tee it up how we would do a normal open house, and then see how that goes and try to get some feedback from people who participated in it to see what their thoughts were. How did it go? Did they feel like it was a good experience? And just try to get some more reviews back on that so that we can report that to you all next week as well. What other questions?
I have a question. So yesterday when we were trying to do a Facebook Live and had some trouble with it, Ash just recorded a tour while he was there, and we had some trouble with the file size and him being able to share the video with me for your watch party and stuff. Are you going to be recording the videos through Facebook directly, or how are you? I don't know.
I think if you use it, just put it in Google Drive and send it that way. Send it as a link. That's probably going to be the best way to do it, because a lot of times, that's a good point. If you have a long video, your phone is only going to be able to have so much storage to get that sent out. So
okay,
Google Drive would work.
And your battery will die pretty quickly.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Lauren, did you guys use selfie sticks or anything like that when you went through?
No, we're not that cool, Ashley.
I'm answering questions.
No.
I used mine yesterday and broke it.
Oh, nice. I think
You know what,
that's it.
guys? So I'll tell you, like one of the best things my old real estate coach taught me, is sometimes we try to prepare so much that we don't get things implemented. And he used to say, Lauren, ready, fire, aim. Like, go ahead and do it, get it started, and then perfect the process. So don't be afraid to do this and fail. The one that I did, when I watched it, I was mortified by half of the things I forgot to say. I told everyone it had a wood-burning fireplace. It's obviously a gas fireplace. I never said how much it cost. I can't tell you how many mistakes I noticed that I made. But the feedback has been so overwhelmingly positive from not only consumers, but other agents that are calling me asking about it. You know, they want to know what we're doing right now to keep our business moving forward. And I really think our office is leading the pack right now. You know, we're really showing a great culture, a lot of innovative ways to take care of our clients. So go out there and do one. Don't worry about making sure it's perfect. You will find things that you did that you wish you wouldn't have done or wish you would have done differently. And that's okay. I think it's a good thing. It makes you very human and approachable, and you know, go do it.
I love that. I think that's great. And it's totally true. The worst case scenario that happens is you go there, you can't figure it out, and it doesn't happen, right? I mean, just try it. Nobody's going to care if you're 10 minutes late. Like it doesn't matter. Just put it, whatever you can out there. I love that, Lauren.
Does anyone else have any questions?
All right, so we'll send out as we get more information as how we're going to do ours in the future. We'll get that out to you and Lauren as well. And if you guys have questions, we are more than happy to help.
I have a quick question. Do either of you have a recording of the ones that you did this weekend?
Ours, we did 3 of them. They're all on our Facebook page.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yep.
Ashley, just
Yep.
one thing I did yesterday was I actually measured the bedrooms before I did the walkthrough. And one thing I took away from yesterday was to have a clipboard for what Lauren was saying for your notes and everything like that. So you're looking a bit professional, having a clipboard and actually giving the measurements to the bedroom and saying, instead of saying this is a great sized bedroom, small, large or whatnot, they can actually visualize it themselves as opposed to their own bedroom at home.
I love that.
Ashley, that's huge. That's one thing I wish I would have spent more time preparing for the ones that we did. We just kind of went and did it really quickly. But I wish we would have measured bedrooms. I wish we would have done more, you know, had more notes about little details about the house. I think it does make you look more professional, but it also gives you so much more content. Yes. Because if you're there in the moment, you're going to forget you know, whether you're nervous or you're just awkward in front of the camera at first, or you don't have as many viewers as you thought. You start to get distracted. You forget things that you wanted to say. So the more notes that you can, you know, make for yourself ahead of time, I think the better you're going to be. Call around and find, you know, what elementary school does the house feed into? What middle school? What high school? What churches are nearby? You know, shopping, whatever you can find out about the area too. How far is it from the house to 270? You know, do some of that research ahead of time. Make sure you know when you get there, you're going to have so much more content.
Yeah, that you can find the, I did the nearest main cross street as well, so they can really get an idea where you are. I did the comps for the subdivision before I went in there, like I could turn around and say that 5 out of the last 6 condos that were in this subdivision sold inside 10 days. So make sure you get your people in. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Lauren. Just the more information you pad it out, so you, instead of sort of just wandering around the house, showing them the house, you're giving them added value during your video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It shows you're the expert too. And if somebody tunes in and they're not, you know, they were just surfing Facebook and just going through, and they weren't really interested in that house, yet they see how you are as a professional, that can very well help with your branding and also help gain more clients in the future. So I think that's great.
Yeah, I think I would take a couple observations just from the overall conversation and then also what Lauren and Ash said. Number one, even though I'm convinced 25% of Ash's success is his accent, 75% of it is that he's probably one of the most prepared agents at open houses that I've ever seen consistently. And that's how he's really been able to get, you know, high-end results from open houses, from higher-end open houses. And then also to Lauren's point, I think at the very beginning we talked, or Ashley mentioned something about it, and I think it's something really worth considering is, you know, having another person there shooting the video, because a lot of us aren't super comfortable with technology in the first place. And then when we're trying to deal with technology, shoot a video, which we're also not comfortable with, and remember what we're supposed to be talking about on the house, you're asking a lot of yourself doing something the first or second time. And so I think having somebody there, and I think it would be cool to allow the person behind the camera to interact. So if you get caught up or whatever, or if the person behind the camera says like, hey, you know, talk to him about the size of this bedroom. Like, as Lauren said, like, don't feel like this has to be fit into this perfect little box. Nobody has the prescription for this. And the reality is social media loves real. And so like, that means it doesn't have to be perfect. And so experiment with things and see what creates that interaction. And I think you'd be surprised. A lot of times the things that you would look at as a mistake actually is what creates the interaction with people. Also, don't be afraid of what is perceived as awkward silence. It gives people a chance to think. And like Lauren said, slow down a lot. Like make it should almost be uncomfortable for you. And if it's not uncomfortable for you, you're probably going too fast.
Yeah, that's a huge challenge for me. I've always been a fast talker and a fast mover, and taking that deep breath and really slowing down is hard, but I think it's really important.
Cool. Well, you guys, I've got to jump off here, but you guys can definitely stay on. If nobody else has any questions, I think it would be great to reconvene next week, maybe same day, same time, just to see how everybody's went. It sounds like several of you are going to do another one this week. And I think it would be really interesting to come back next week and kind of see how it went and what things worked, what things didn't, and how we can continue to improve.
Yep. Hey, Troy, is this recorded?
I did record it. I missed like the first 2 minutes, but I think I got most of it.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
So I'll send that out as well.
Is your happy hour at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Troy?
I don't have one scheduled, however, I am going to jump on to answer questions because I'm going to be sending out the earnest money instructions and then also a new COVID-19 addendum this afternoon. So I am going to jump on at 5 o'clock. You're more than welcome to bring a beer if you want, but it wasn't an advertised happy hour, but yes.
Okay, just
5 o'clock.
Just to Foster's.
And thank you all for bearing with us. This is all new for all of us. So we just tried to give you as much feedback as we could from our experience. And thank you for interacting, because that's really going to help us all move forward and get a really good system around this.
Yeah. Guys, and feel free to call anytime if you have any questions or you just want, you know, to run some ideas, bounce ideas. I love talking to all of you guys. So you guys have my number, and hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. I just really appreciate how open you guys are with your experience and willing to share information with the team. I just think it makes a world of difference. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Got
you.
it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.